There's another anti-gun bill in the California legislature. SB497 would prohibit the sale or transfer of more than one long gun per month. There was a hearing on this bill, and I would like to address some of the comments made by the proponents of the bill.
SB497 prohibits any person from making an application to purchase more than one firearm within a 30-day period. Nothing controversial about that.
I beg to differ.
Over the past 10 years, Californians have typically purchased more long guns than handguns.
Is there a problem with buying more long guns than handguns? If there is, there's no one to blame more than the California legislature. Because, one, the type of handguns that are available for sale in California are extremely limited because of the handgun roster legislation that was put into effect a few years ago. And second, handguns are already limited to one gun per month. So there's a physical limitation on the amount of handguns that can possibly be sold. And third, the reason I think is most significant, the reason why so many long guns have been sold, is because of the various bills that have been put forward by the California legislature. The assault weapons ban, the ban on semi-automatic rifles. So naturally, if there's a ban on something, people are going to want to buy more of it because it's no longer going to be available.
There is no reason why someone would need to buy more than one long gun a month.
You know, this country was not founded on needs. It's not about what we need in this country. If all we ever had was what we absolutely needed, where would the American dream be in that sense? And you know what? It's not even about needs. It's about the constitutional rights that law-abiding citizens have.
There is no constitutional right that is unlimited. We put limitations on the right of free speech because you can't yell fire in a movie theater because it might impact the public safety.
True. But they don't gag you before you enter the theater now, do they? Quite frankly, I'm surprised you haven't drafted a law prohibiting anyone from entering a theater without a gag over their mouth. I mean, who needs to watch a movie with an open mouth? There's no reason it shouldn't be gagged. I mean, it's in the name of public safety. You don't want anyone yelling fire and causing a panic now, do you?
If you look at the Second Amendment, it starts off talking about a well-regulated militia. There are some people who believe that is what the Second Amendment is referring to.
That's true. There are some ignorant people out there who think that the Second Amendment is a collective right, not an individual right. But the fact is, it is an individual right as determined by the U.S. Supreme Court.
The right to own a firearm is not an unlimited right.
Now, if Ms. Jackson thinks that without this bill, the Second Amendment is unlimited, especially in the state of California, she has stooped to a whole new level of stupidity. She must have forgotten about the hundreds, if not thousands, of laws that California already has on the books that restrict the right to keep and bear arms.
But we do have a responsibility as a legislature to develop policy that is going to protect the public.
You know, it's funny you bring that up because earlier this month, policy was proposed, but was rejected by one of Ms. Jackson's colleagues, Assemblyman Bill Quark of Hayward. Not because it didn't increase public safety, but because he personally didn't feel safe if it passed.
Any questions from committee members? Mr. Quirk.
I certainly respect the Assembly member. However, I don't feel more safe when more people are carrying guns. I don't feel more safe when more people are carrying guns.
Feelings are too subjective to have a place in public policy.
We do not want people who should not be in possession of firearms to have them. And the laws that we have passed have been designed for that. And I think, sadly, what it has done is incite people who do wish to own firearms, who do wish to hunt. I have family members who are hunters. And trying to take the position that people are trying to take your rights away. That's just not true.
The general adult population is not prohibited from owning firearms. Now, there are some exceptions like convicted felons and mentally ill and other minorities that are prohibited, which I assume is what Ms. Jackson is talking about. The problem is, this bill does not specify those minority groups anywhere in it. In fact, it applies to the general populations, which, as we just established, aren't the ones that we seek to prohibit. So don't sit there and tell me you're not trying to take away my rights, and in the same breath endorse a bill that makes it obvious that's a blatant lie.